When I was a kid, Captain Kangaroo was everything to me. I never missed his programs. He was my idol. I loved the guy, loved his haircut. I remember him today as though it were yesterday. And as a stroke of luck, our class won the opportunity to be a part of the live audience filming thing. It was all set up. It was on a Sunday. We drove down there. We were supposed to meet the bus, meet the class. We waited and waited for the bus. No bus, no class, no kids. My mother tells me she forgot to set the clocks. And I'm like, what do clocks have to do with it? I mean, I'm supposed to meet Captain Kangaroo. He's waiting for me. And I started crying. I couldn't understand it. It's like, what could a clock have to do with meeting Captain Kangaroo? My whole life's dream. I run a nonprofit organization that's against daylight saving time. And the reason I'm against it is because I think it's screwing everybody's life up. It certainly is mine. The government's involved and it's messing us all up. Everybody's passive. They're blindly letting it go by like robots, going and changing their clocks. Sure, I'll change my clock in January. I'll change it in February. I'll change it in March. I'll change it whenever you want. Just tell me when to change the clock. And I, for one, am standing up against it and I want you to join.
Well, I became involved with this group about 5 years ago. It really started to become apparent to me that this change that we go through every year, it literally throws off your natural biorhythmic cycles. Days are supposed to be shorter. That's the way it's supposed to be in the wintertime. And somehow we've got this artifice of trying to make the day longer, which doesn't happen. We're just shifting it around some way.
Yeah, I joined this group about 2-3 years ago. Nice group of guys. And Olivia, she's nice. A friend of mine told me once, if you ever want to meet girls, you got to join an activist group, a protest group. Get involved, look like you're trying to help people.
We should go in front of a dress barn or an Annie Says.
Acting like you're doing something and you're helping out, you're going for a good cause, you're trying to save lives, but let's be honest, we're not saving whales here. We're talking about daylight savings time. What are we doing?
I'm Olivia. I've been with the group for about 5 years now. I was drawn to Carl and how passionate he was about this idea. I don't really understand the point of daylight savings.
Daylight saving time, actually, not even savings time. What are we saving? Not saving anything. It's more like shifting time. They're shifting time. They're not saving time. You know, it's a joke.
If you calculate the number of people that miss flights, miss trains, miss buses, they miss everything, they have to pay to get the tickets changed.
I lived in Arizona for like 6 years, and you don't touch the clock, you don't move your watch, nothing. It's great. Never have to, you're not affected by daylight savings time.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. We change the clocks to have more daylight. It's impossible. There's the same amount of daylight. It doesn't change. We're just setting the clocks back. That's the only thing that's happening.
You know who invented this? Ben Franklin invented this. While he was in Paris having some tea, he comes up with daylight savings time. This guy's a serious inventor. He invented lightning rods.
There are statistics out there that are showing now, and the whole of the population is duped. It shows how much money is lost, how much time is lost.
One country has it for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, we don't want it for another 10 years. Then they say, oh, we're going back on it. The whole thing's a scam. It's a scam. I'm not saying I'm not as over the top as these other guys where they say, oh, the government's trying to control our lives and all that. Come on, please. But it does wreak havoc. I mean, I'm always late as it is. I'm a late person. So now with daylight savings time, adjusting the clock, I'm always late.
We experience our lives not only as physical beings relating to physical objects, but also as physical beings related to time. Having time changed puts you in a position of being out of sync. And finally, you end up feeling anxiety most of the day because everything is set back 1 hour. How can this be right?
I've been in a lot of different groups over the years. This current group, the Daylight Saving Group, I've been in for about 3 years now.
Yeah, you know, the guy Brian, he's involved in so many of these anti-government big brother groups.
Any anti-war group, various vegan groups, pretty much any radical group that's opposed to big business and Big Brother, anything anti-mind control.
Mr. Protester, how you doing, Brian? How's that anti-Dewey Decimals thing working out for you, huh?
Down with Dewey, for instance, decimal system group, anti-decimal system group.
Anti-Dewey Decimal System. Are you kidding me? They don't want the Dewey Decimal System? What, did he have an overdue book that was 10 years late and he's pissed off at it? Come on, how are you gonna find your books? That doesn't make any sense.
We have about 4 or 5 full-time members now. Each of them has their own gifts, talents that they bring to the table. For instance, Olivia is very good at making signs.
I love signs. I think that signs are what speak to people.
The one that I started out with was stop sign, stop trying to save daylight.
Stop.
A week and a half, and this is what you come up with?
Who drew that? A 3-year-old?
Before there were words, there were signs, there were symbols, and you can use them all and get your idea, your message out to the world. You don't even have to speak the same language.
Guys, this is just rough drafts. I told you. Now, come on, come on.
I think it's good.
Right. With the stop sign, everybody knows the stop sign. Okay, so this one, look, there's a clock. Big no sign going through it. The no's going to be red. A sun coming up.
I love that.
All of language is built on signs. When you go into like the little caves that they explore and they dig the stuff away, and there's signs written on the walls.
No time? No time. No
Time is
It's like
relevant.
I'm playing charades.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to guess what the sign is.
Right.
Okay, all right. Where's the DST? Daylight savings is a...
Savings.
There's an S. It's no S. It's saving. No savings. Sorry, Olivia.
I think it's really important that we get our message out there without words.
You got to take the S off. Come on. Oh, Jesus. I mean, if we're going to be doing this, we got to know what we're doing here.
Do we know what we're doing?
I
don't think so.
I don't know.
All
here
this
to meet
time
women.
spent on 3 little signs at
A
kindergarten.
little color would help.
I'm a friend of Jeff's. He dragged me to this meeting. You know, I figured it would be something important, like a political action committee. And obviously, I walked into a room full of tools. All these people got to worry about is daylight savings time. 6 years this guy's been trying to organize something. He's not making very good progress.
Don't you think that if you really want to get this off the ground, you got to get political? You got to get senators, congressmen involved.
Hold on. No, we don't want to go that route. The legislative route is dead. We've tried that. The congressmen, the House of Representatives, all that crap, they're out to line their own pockets. They do not care about us. We're not going that route anymore. Now we just tell people not to change their clocks. This is our method now. I haven't changed my clock in 4 years. Gets a little confusing. I'm late or early to different things, but that's okay. I'm still alive. I'm healthy. I'm going forward, and so just don't change your clocks.
What do you want to do? You want the hour of light in the morning or the light at night?
That question
a
doesn't even
joke.
make any sense. Why are we here? It doesn't make any
Doesn't
sense
make
to
sense.
set
Why-
any kind of artifice about daylight savings time. What we do
Artifice.
in the
We're
winter
not saving
is wrong.
time.
It's
a
wrong.
waste of-
Yeah,
we
well, we
don't
have
set
to
the
pick
clocks
a
back.
time somewhere between
Yeah,
We got to figure out
You have
what,
to understand
it's-
that
what
if
do
you
you
don't
want.
set the
You
clocks
want an
back,
hour
then it's
early in
gonna
the
be
morning or an
dark.
hour later at
cares?
night?
But that's the
So
way
if
it
we get
is.
to choose,
Shoot.
then why can't we choose the
Well,
brighter
it is going to be
Olivia,
dark, but
that's
I
the
mean,
way
the
it
Eskimos are
naturally
living in
occurs.
dark. It's like
This is
23.
less light
We're not
hours.
saving any
Set it
time.
back.
It's a
I-
total
you have
waste
light
of time.
I know
Daylight savings
we're
time.
not
Shit,
Eskimos, but I'm
man.
saying
You don't know.
they're not
We're not-
shifting
we're
the
not
clocks.
trying to
It's
figure
like
out
people
which is
can
more natural. We're
live
just
in
trying to
darkness
stop
too.
the
It's like
change.
Well, I mean, overall, I'm dissatisfied. I mean, we're not taking any action. At this point, the last 3 years, the biggest decisions we've made is whether to go out for Chinese or Italian. What we have to do is realize that we're getting nowhere.
Well, they turn back the clocks twice a year, and these are the most important days for us as an organization. We hit the streets, we pass out flyers, and it's the time when everybody's aware of all the confusion that's happening around daylight savings time. So this is the high point of our year. So I think if we can all gather down at the parking lot at 9, you bring the flyers, we'll pass out the flyers, and I think that's our next step.
flyers.
That way we
Flyers.
can gather-
Yeah, flyers. Let's just hand out flyers all the
hand out
time.
Some people are complaining about flyers like it's not valid. I think that it's a wonderful way to go. Get the information into the common man's hand. Some people think it's like we're losers for doing it or we're failures. But when you think about failures, Like Lincoln, the President of the United States, he had a huge amount of failures before he became president. He tried to get into the Senate, into the House, Congress, everything. Failure, failure, failure. And then he became the President of the United States. Got shot, but I mean, he did his thing, and he overlooked the failures, and there are certain steps to success. So I say passing out flyers is valid.
Hi, Carl.
9 a.m. Sunday. Don't be late.
Yeah, all right, Carl. See you there.
Got it.
Well, we'd planned for the whole year a lot of meetings for this particular day. It was a rainy day. We had the place picked. It was a parking lot. So I showed up on time. Everyone was late. I'm freezing. I'm wet. In my mind, I'd been there on time. Finally, everybody else shows up. They explained to me that we've set back the clocks. It's like everything's changed. And once again, here I am, confused. Is it ahead? Is it behind? What's going on? So finally, we're all there. We solved the time issue. It was cold, it was wet, but there were people coming and going in the shopping center. So it went good. It went good. The people were polite, they were pleasant, they were interested. Some of them had been confused also. It went well. I mean, people were interested in what we had to say.
Never
And
change
daylight
clocks
savings
again.
time.
Hello,
Hey,
excuse
hi,
me.
how are you?
Hi.
We're trying
And
to
daylight
get people
savings
to
time.
daylight savings time. Here, take it with you.
And daylight savings time.
I'm helping out. Good
And
call.
daylight savings time.
She was kinda
And
rude.
daylight savings
Jeff.
time.
And daylight savings time.
Stop
Don't
the
turn your clocks
confusion.
back.
Government control confusion.
No
And
more being
daylight
tired and
savings
late for work for 2 weeks. And daylight savings time.
Take one. Hi. Hey,
There you go, Jeff.
I drive a
time. And
hybrid.
daylight savings time.
And
daylight savings time.
I've been doing this for about 2-3 years. I've met about 10, 12 girls. 2 of them were total nut jobs. Oh my God. You know, don't wear fur, don't eat this, don't eat that. Come on. Vegan this, vegan that. Overall, it's not bad. You know, it's a good mix of girls. You know, it's fun. I mean, I know these guys, they're real serious about it, and I am too. I like to help them out, but, you know, really, I'm here to meet women.
We're trying to end daylight savings time, so you'll stop being confused.
Yep. Never have to
I'm
change the clock.
confused about why you're ending it.
So we're handing out flyers. The day's going really well. I look around and I don't find Marvin.
May I take a moment of your time? I couldn't help but notice that as you were walking up here that you seem a little out of sorts. Perhaps maybe out of balance. Or...
Wow, I did feel like that this morning a little bit.
Me too.
You too?
Yeah.
What?
I think
What do
I
you
know
mean?
why. You know that today it's daylight savings time.
He's talking with some guy for like an hour or 2 hours. Like, I think the whole time he was talking with this other guy.
The rising of the sun, the rising of the moon has ruled the way men live their lives forever, since time and eternity. And when you do something that interferes with those natural rhythms, it creates a seismic shift. What we're doing right now is incredible. The fact that we're taking time to discuss this.
I'm really glad you pulled me aside. It got me thinking about this in a completely different way.
I belong to a group that is actively involved in trying to change this system.
So there's more people who
Yes,
agree
there's a whole
on this?
group that is against daylight savings time.
No kidding.
The guy ends up joining us in the end, so it turned out good as well. I wanted to keep this a peaceful thing, just passing out flyers. Brian kept pushing. He said, it's got to be a protest. It's got to be a protest. I thought, we're doing well, just passing out the information. He said, no, it's got to be a protest. He kept after me, so finally I said, okay, I'll do what you want. We organized ourselves, we started chanting. No sooner than we did that, than this guy hanging around the building with a black leather coat and aviator sunglasses comes up, starts arresting us. Jeff and Lee booked, they got out of there. Brian grabs Olivia, won't let her go.
Stay still, don't make it worse for yourself.
It just went berserk after that.
Turn the cameras off.
Please, arrest me, officer. Take me
I'm
in.
taking him away.
Take me in. Don't take him in. This gentleman.
Take this guy.
So we got arrested. Right now, I'm under house arrest as a result of that. Brian turns out to be connected with the feds for 3-4 years, playing both sides of the fence. The fact that the feds were interested enough in our organization to put Brian in our midst validates the whole thing. It means they believe us to be a threat. They also believe that daylight savings time is not correct. It's a manipulative thing that they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother. They've got other things to do. So they close us down. But I am not changing my clocks. I am never going to change my clock as long as I live. I haven't changed it for years. I'm not going to do it. And there are a lot of people who are with me on this. They may be able to shut down an organization, but they will not stop me from organizing another one. And my new passion? Rubbernecking. Rubbernecking needs to be outlawed. I was on the highway last week. There was an accident. I was held up for hours. I could not get where I needed to go because everybody needed to turn and see where the carnage was. Who's decapitated? Where are the limbs? Where's the blood? The lights were flashing, the sirens were going, and everybody had to see it. I'm against rubbernecking, and there should be a law passed so that rubbernecking is illegal. They should lock up the people that rubberneck, put cuffs on them, put them on the hood of the cars.
Boy, I'm telling you, man, we should be out in front of a dress barn, and he says, a Loman, something. There's just not enough prime people coming here.